sons McNasty.
My issue is not with that. It was more with his daddy.
Oh, that's his daddy.
His dad. It's his dad. The daddy
I believe
makes it sound
both
so
are acceptable parlance in today's society.
As an adult,
Jenna
I would
Wolf.
say.
Yeah. I
Moving
understand
on.
that, Jenna. Every man needed one daddy. I understand.
Literally have no idea where you're going with that.
Me either.
Good. Moving on. And Kevin Durant ended up getting the last laugh against Larry Nance and the Lakers. No Steph, no Draymond, no Jaja, no problem. KD scored 36 points, grabbed 11 boards, dished out 8 assists. Though it did come on just 10 of 29 shooting, but one of those 10 was a game winner over Lonzo Ball. Nick, after a game like this with no Steph, you think Durant might just be thinking he's the unquestioned leader on this team, might want to be the unquestioned leader on this team?
Or might miss it? Like, if I were him, I'd miss it. Maybe this makes me a bad teammate. Maybe this is one of the many reasons I wasn't a great athlete, aside from the obvious ones.
Or why you weren't invited to play on CC's basketball team.
That is, I'm not supposed to talk about ongoing legal proceedings, so let's set that aside. Right now, that's tied up in the courts.
Yeah, okay. I got Mueller and Russ investigating.
Okay. So I miss this from I miss this from Durant when he's got to go do this. 10 of 29 is not great. It's not terrible. It's not great. But guess what? Kevin Durant, once again, was on a regular basketball team last night. And Kevin Durant, where you've got another good, not a bad basketball team, because you've got a really good coach. You've got another all-star in Klay Thompson. You've got some nice complementary pieces. But it is a regular NBA basketball team. And the miss part of this question, does he miss it, is interesting. Because what Kevin Durant is missing out on with the Warriors as presently constituted, as having the opportunity to do what he said he thought he did, which is take the torch from LeBron. Because if this is what Durant would look like on a regular team, that would be a real discussion. If Durant was day in, day out doing things like this, as great as LeBron's playing, that would be a legitimate discussion. So I miss it. I can't speak for KD. I don't even know if KD can speak for himself. But I miss this player, the second best basketball player alive, having to do this more often. That's one of the things I love about the NBA.
Yeah, I just don't think every player, and I'm going to put Kevin Durant in that class, is cut out to be that kind of guy. And we opened the show with Kobe. KD is never going to be like Kobe. And for us to even try to have those expectations, you know what they are? They're things that we want. We see players, we see athletes, and we try to add things to them. Well, man, if I was Michael Jordan, you know, I might have been a little more this way. Well, if I was LeBron James, I'd be a little more this way. But we try to cut them out to be our personality compared to them being the individuals that they are. They're really, really special in their own right. Kevin Durant is not a great leader. All right, Kevin Durant doesn't always want to be in the spotlight. That's why he left Washington, D.C. and went to Texas compared to going to Kentucky or Duke. That's why he was very, very happy in Seattle. He was very, very happy in OKC. He just does not have that mentality. Now, would it make him a better player? I don't know that. He is one of the greatest to do it. He just doesn't have the mentality of being an alpha or a type A leader that we've seen. So for me, I think he's more comfortable in these situations.
I think you might be right about that. You mentioned, at risk of ruffling feathers here, you mentioned Kobe. I watch Kevin Durant play, and I say skill set wise, body type wise, things he can do. I think he's as, if not more talented than players in that caliber, than Kobe's, than that type of guy. And we saw his career trajectory. That's where it was headed as far as how we were going to think of him. And it's just the Golden State thing is such a complicating factor. Because obviously his talent has not deteriorated. It's not like he's needed Steph and Draymond and these guys. It's totally in play that had he last year stayed with Oklahoma City, that they would be the defending champions. Like, all of that's in play, and that we just don't know it, but we're getting glimpses of it right now. Because right now, CC, it's not just that Steph's out. It's that Draymond's out, too. So KD's got to be the best guy on both ends. He's got to be your best defensive player and your leading offensive player. I love watching it, and I just feel like as an NBA fan, we're missing that somewhat.
If KD really wanted to be a leader, if he wanted to be in the NBA and be the guy on his team, the guy, not sharing the spotlight, not having to look at his line and someone else's line, just the guy that's going to win or lose games for that team, why go to Golden State?
Well, I think you could want to be those things, but want to win a championship more.
Yeah, but you can't look at Golden State's roster and think, I'm going to go there and I could easily be a leader. And I think to your point, CeCe, some guys just aren't leaders. They could be great players. They could have it in them. But is a leader made, or is there a leader born? Are you born with that?
It's hard to make someone into a leader. Kevin Durant knew exactly what he was doing when he decided to go to Golden State. He wanted to play with those guys.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant was already in communication with Draymond during the season before he decided the summer to go to Golden State. So this is what he wanted. I accept him for who he is. I'm not trying to turn him into some other player. He's not going to be like Kobe. He's not going to be like Jordan, but he will still be a special player.
Can I ask you a question? When KD was with the Thunder, who do you think was the leader of that team?
Russ.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I never viewed it like that. I viewed Russ as the emotional guy on the team, but I viewed KD as, forget the best player or not.
And you know the reason why you can tell now? In their absence. You can see who has the upper hand in the relationship, who's being more petty. You can see, if KD was the real leader, he would have called Russ and told him.
Why do you say that?
Because that's what leaders do. People who are subservient to other people and cowardly, or people who want to avoid confrontation, they do just what KD did. He tries to give the perception publicly that he talked to Russ, but he really didn't talk to Russ. Because if I'm a real leader and I'm a man's man, I call you up and let you know, bro. Hey, man, I'm getting ready to go. I don't know where I'm going, even I know I'm going to Golden State. Because he knew Russ would be upset. But that's what a real man would do. An alpha, a type A, would call him up and have a conversation with him, compared to having all these ends that weren't